I think the position of power argument doesn't really work because people don't understand class. I mean, hey, well, welcome to the Hasan broadcast. I talk about a lot of things that people don't understand, and I try to get them to understand it. Opening up the door to white identity politics is a really fucking dangerous game. Okay? But yeah, as I've said before, and as the great Boris is also pointing out, it's like saying heterophobia, like being upset that there's no straight pride. It's the same exact fucking energy. The only difference is that like some people hold a lot more value to whiteness and like see themselves as white because they're just like super far removed from the ethnic background that they have as like an Irish person or a Greek person or something like that. And instead of seeing themselves as like American people, a mishmash, a mosaic of like different cultures, they have to like resort to whiteness, which is again a concept created as a concept of dominance, as a concept of exclusion and purity, and one that you can only define by what it's not. Okay, only define on its borders of what it's not. What are white people? Non-black people. That's what white people are. Okay, there it is. Welcome to my 700th fucking TED talk on this issue. The worst part about it is that I know that motherfucker knows all this shit, okay? He knows all this shit. He has argued against Nazis with the exact same talking points that I'm talking about 4 fucking years ago. But now it's more beneficial for him to continue on his fucking dumbass anti-leftist conquest as he just like makes a fool of himself regularly to anyone that cares about any of this shit, with the exception of the sycophantic weirdos that are coming into his community who show him love and acceptance, I guess, and never think he's wrong. That's the worst part, because he knows better. I've heard him fucking make significantly better arguments against racist motherfuckers. Okay? That's the worst part about this process. Oh, Jesus. If RTB had not said that and gotten mad at Nick for saying he's a right winger or whatever, I would not have ever brought this shit up. You think you're safe with LSF on screen, but D's going to react to this clip of you and it will be front page tomorrow? You're feeding the scumbag content? Yeah, I know. I know. Have you heard the argument that black people and other non-white people can't be racist? No, of course they can be fucking racist, dude. It's so stupid. But like that racism and like racism with a capital R, I guess, or with a hard R is entirely different. And people constantly fucking make it as in the same. They constantly try to fucking make it seem the same. Just like the concept of slurs, okay, is not the same. Not every slur has the same fucking power. Not every pejorative has the same fucking power. Okay? But a lot of people who, you know, want to engage in this like vague generalization or play a little bit of Mott and Bailey, I guess, try to, you know, just drop that in there and tickle a part of your brain that goes, wait, I hate racism. You're right. That is racism. Okay? And what I mean by that is like oppressed people, of course, have the capacity to be fucking racist. Okay? They can be racist. They can have internalized racism. They can be racist towards like other groups of individuals that are also oppressed, maybe not as oppressed. Doesn't fucking matter. Fuck oppression Olympics. But ultimately, okay, it doesn't have the same impact because it is removed from having any sort of like systemic consequence. And when you don't have any sort of structural oppression, okay, then it is meaningless. It's just like it's almost like a kid being fucking upset at an adult. And people say that's infantilizing to marginalized communities. And it's like, no, it's not. It's just the unfortunate reality of how power structures work in contemporary society because of hundreds of fucking years of oppression, colonialism, imperialism, slavery. Like, it's just, you can't just like fucking hand wave that shit away or close your eyes and act like, you know, LL Cool J did and be like, oh yeah, R.I.P. to Robert E. Lee. Like, it doesn't automatically magically remove all of that. You don't think that colorism has structural implications in POC communities? No, it absolutely does, dude. But that's still white supremacy. White supremacy is so fucking powerful that it creates color rankings within communities that are like black. Black communities have their very own different version of additional oppression as a consequence of how pervasive and how powerful white supremacy is. It's a part of people's everyday fucking existences in a way that is impossible to fucking understand and comprehend, especially if you've never thought about it for more than 3 seconds. And why the fuck would you think about it for more than 3 seconds if you're a white person? Your default mode, your default character mode. Okay? So of course you're not gonna fucking think about that. Feel me? Anyway. Keep going.
To be racist towards minorities. So why are you mad now that it's happening to white people? We should have done what I said all along and allowed us to say the N-word to black people, and none of this would have happened in the first place if you just let me be racist towards other people. If you let me call gay people the F slur and you let me say the R slur, then everything would have been clean. My hands would have been clean, but now we can't say cracker, and it's your fault. It's just such a stupid argument. So go ahead. Why, you're on YouTube right now, why don't you start saying racist slurs here?
But the problem is, a lot of people just believe that you can't be racist towards white people, and then that allows the use of derogatory terms towards white people to kind of flourish to where Hasan has been using it and has finally been banned. So things have gotten just, yeah, the oppression Olympics has hit a new low, and free speech is dead.
It's just like so funny that this motherfucker also, this weirdo furry fascist dipshit, also recognizes how silly it is, but he has to still make it seem like it's a serious thing. Like, while he's doing the coverage, like, he has to act like it's a serious thing, but it's such a ridiculous thing that he has to literally admit that it's ridiculous
Online, like, I don't like that part of it, but hey, if you can't say anything, then yeah, get banned for what.
So is he happy or not? And what part are you happy about? He's like, I don't like the part where we can't say anything online anymore. I want to be able to say all these slurs. What is your content where that's necessary? I hate the idea that free speech isn't real anymore. You can say whatever you want online. Just don't say words that are like awful towards other people. And is not one of those. No one's ever cared about being called a cracker. The only reason this has become an issue is because people said, oh wait, he's using that term in a derogatory way towards white people, so we should capitalize on this and try to get Twitch to ban him for that, since he is the same person that would get mad at us for saying slurs against other minorities like black and brown people. Let's see the comments, because this is one of the few videos from a right-wing person that has gotten more dislikes than likes here. We got 591 likes to 687 dislikes. It's like these comments. I kind of respect it, because even though I hate censorship, it acknowledges that you cannot be rude to anyone. No double standard. But there is a double standard, because saying cracker and saying the N-word are two different things. Two very different things, because everyone seems fine on every other platform with saying the word cracker. If it wasn't the same thing, I wouldn't feel comfortable saying the word cracker because I don't say slurs. But I will call a white person a cracker because it's not a slur. And it doesn't matter. I'm mostly a lefty, but when it comes to the way they treat language and censorship, I'm absolutely disgusted by the way these morons act. This is why I refuse to truly align myself with either side. Okay, then you're not a lefty. If you say I don't want to align with either side, then you're just a centrist, which just makes you a right-winger because you just end up falling into their belief system. It's absolutely mind-blowing how so many people can be absolutely delusional hypocrites with no self-awareness whatsoever. It makes my blood boil with misanthropy. Misanthropy. Also, before someone says in the comments, oh, so you're just gonna group moderates with Republicans? So why? Oh, so if someone doesn't agree with you, suddenly they're a Republican? Yeah, take a freaking test online and see where you rank with the rest of the world. I promise you, if you think you're a moderate, it, you're definitely on the right side of things. And not the right side of things, just the left, not the left side of things is what I'm trying to say. I want to see what Tim Pool has to say about it with his beanie.
I do not agree in principle with these personalities being banned. However, Vosh explained to us that private companies, if they don't want you on the platform, you got to follow the rules. Maybe you should follow the rules. Hasan himself, in a video not even that long ago, he talks about how all these conservatives, they want to make an echo chamber, but they want to own the lib, so they want to be on Twitter and they want to be on these platforms. Maybe they shouldn't be violating the rules. Okay. In principle, I believe it is wrong that Hasan and Vosh have been banned.
Guys, when I'm doing what I'm doing, okay, I'm criticizing the rules of the platform. Argue on whether or not the rules of the platform should encompass the word cracker or not. Why the fuck do they constantly try to like relegate back to the principle of the thing? No, motherfucker, my principle is that cracker is not a significant offense, is not a bannable offense. That's always been the principle. Day one principle for this stream is that if you are genuinely and legitimately offended by the term cracker as a white person, you are a pussy and you should, chill the fuck out and re-examine why that affects you as much or why you are so fragile. Okay, that's one. And two, that term should not be a bannable offense. Okay, and I think that capitulating to those who are cynically advocating to ban people for using that word is ridiculous. Oh.
And from Twitch.
This is a funny position for these type of people to be put into because they want to so bad say that Hasan should be off the platform, but all they've ever preached is that we should be able to say anything we want.
And for the record, like, I know that I very likely was going to get banned for it. Like, I took the L on that. I don't know why the fuck everyone's like, yeah. Like, I thought Twitch would be like, yeah, this is whatever. Quietly, just like they did with Simp and just like they did with Incel, they were going to quietly fucking, offer some kind of restitution, fix the system, okay, and stop being ridiculous. But no, they saw the LSF fucking frenzy, the feeding frenzy, and they totally caved to it. And I knew I was going to get banned when I saw how much backlash was cultivated, how much manufactured outrage existed, and I know how fucking fragile Twitch is to PR, and they totally did not see. Like how ridiculous everyone else would consider Twitch to be. Okay, I don't know why the fuck people are like, oh my god, like you violated the rules. Yes, like, yeah, motherfucker, I'm saying that's a ridiculous rule.
Internet should be a cesspool of people just calling other people slurs and harassing them. And so now that someone's been banned for calling what they think, or I guess what Twitch thinks is a slur, no one even agrees. It's hard for the right to say that this is a bad thing to say because half of the people are like, we should be able to say anything. Nothing's a slur. We should just be able to like call everybody derogatory names. And then the other half is like, cracker's a slur. You shouldn't call white people crackers. It's a bad thing to say. But then we'll turn around and be like, no, the N-word's fine to say. What's wrong about saying the N-word? They say it. What's wrong with me saying it? A healthy middle ground would be to say, hey, maybe the N-word's a bad thing to say, but cracker is fine because it's the word cracker. And white people have never been oppressed by use of the word.
They should be allowed to be on these platforms and engaging in public discourse the same as anybody else. I do believe there is a line in which we do ban content and that censorship is not inherently evil. What do I mean by that? Ian Crossland, you may have seen him on Timcast IRL. He's one of the co-hosts, and he is a co-founder of Minds.com. That is the social media platform Minds. He actually had to do for quite a long time content review. Why? People post graphic murder and child abuse, and this stuff is illegal, like overtly illegal content. And I don't mean like speech and expression. I mean videos.
Tim Pool is forced to have like a decent take here, but where I stop saying it's decent is the fact that he basically agrees with me that they should stay on the platform, but there is a line. And I totally agree with that. They should stay on, but we shouldn't have everything be free speech. The difference between Tim and myself is that his line between gross content being here, Hasan's up here, and his line of content is like way down here, where only the stuff that passes the line is like stuff that's straight up like stuff with children and animal abuse and like illegal videos that like should not be on the internet. And he thinks everything that's like speech and expression should be allowed. You should be able to call like anybody anything. My line is like way farther ahead of that, where I don't think we should be derogatory towards people who actually face that oppression and have a history behind those words. Like there is actual history behind those words. The history behind cracker is like what, a slave owner cracking a whip, and you calling a white person that who hasn't had to deal with oppression their whole lives? What part of that is gonna like hit home for them if you call them that? What part of them is gonna be like, oh man, that life, it sucks that I had people in my past who had to deal with being slave owners. That really sucks for me. It's like, no, just get over it. For other people, it actually, there's weight to those words. Their ancestors actually went through shit because of those words. Cracker, you didn't go through anything because of that word. Not everything's so black and white. There's a little bit of nuance to everything if you didn't notice. But sometimes people don't like to play that game. Sometimes life is very simple to some people, and that's what's funny. What is Review Tech USA? I don't know what side of the line this guy is on. He's got a decent amount of likes, but he looks kind of creepy. He looks like the guy who did the toys in Toy Story.
Hasan Piker has a beard. A beard. I'm sorry I ignore you.
What the fuck?
I already have to do it. I have to constantly in my brain cycle through what I'm saying on the fly, which is dangerous territory when you live stream, to make sure.
Well, yeah, this guy, he's got some dangerous ideas, bro. What the fuck is he about to say, dude? I love this. I love that, dude. What is going on right now? Who is this dude? What's up with this guy?
Not going to be canceled or banned.
Okay, so that's a self-report right there saying, I constantly have to be cycling through my head, making sure I don't get banned or canceled. If you have to consciously make sure you're not saying slurs, that's a you problem. That's something that you need to look inside and realize for yourself. I don't stream and I don't make videos and worry that a slur is gonna pop out of my mouth besides your slur, which is cracker. That'll slip out every once in a while, calling people. But I never have to worry about whether or not what I say is going to be offensive, because you just have to like know whether or not it's offensive. That's why I'm still here.
It's an interesting game of mental chess that you have to play as a live streamer. Quite interesting. Well,
yes, that game of mental chess where you try not to say the N-word on stream. That's tough.
Hasan Piker also plays that game of chess.
No, he doesn't. The reason he said cracker is because it wasn't even on Twitch's list of words that you couldn't use, because you can type that in Twitch and the auto mod won't even check it. They just had to make up a new word for the list of slurs that you can't say so they could ban him. It wasn't on their radar before because no one cared.
And Hasan Piker got banned off Twitch.
How do you feel about the argument where they say you're justifying the use of C word as validating the white nationalists, since white nationalists push propaganda, the left hates white people, blah, blah, blah? Bro. Kelly B Rock 666. Please, I beg you to read what you just wrote in the chat. Think about your life experiences for a brief moment. Take a deep breath and think about your life experiences. If you find yourself siding with white nationalists, you have already broached a very dangerous territory. Like, most normal people will never be in a situation where they're like, man, this white nationalist got some good ideas. Okay? If you're there, they're just pushing you a little bit further. You're already there. You're already at the doorstep, and they just, cracked open the door and said, come right in. Nobody goes from, nobody goes from like, I loved, defending marginalized communities, using my privilege for good, to, Yeah, I think the 14 words is legit. Like, you know, we must protect we must protect the future of white children, like by stopping immigration and shit. Like, that's not. You're not siding with the white nationalists. He's saying you're giving them fuel for their fire. Yeah, but the fire is bullshit, and that's the point. And that's the point that I've been making since fucking day one, which is that white nationalists try to latch onto this, and they are the fucking villains in this conversation if you're a normal human being. That's the fucking point that I'm making. Welcome to the point I've been making since day one. Okay? You get it? You understand? So you're getting it.
This comes from Kotaku.com. I'll read it to you, then we'll discuss. So I'm
talking about the people in the middle. They don't understand this stuff. Yes. And my fucking goal is to help them understand this stuff. And sometimes there's a little bit of fucking hard conversations to have. Last thing we need to do is give them ammo. But I agree that you're really good at de-radicalizing people. Yeah, but like the other side is trying to constantly and consistently radicalize them. So go yell at the people that are also giving the white nationalists more ammo by making a bigger deal out of this and educate them that it's fucking ridiculous, rather than come to me and be like, maybe you should be nicer to the white folk. You as a white man should be nicer to the white folk. It's an automatic self-report. Whenever someone, I mean, black people say I'm white all the time, but outside of that, okay, whenever like a white person says I'm not white, I treat that as a self-report a little bit, okay? Because you're kind of like, you're like, you know, there's a real white out there and you're not a part of it, okay? That's the new D community talking point. Like, thank you for legitimizing white nationalist bullshit arguments. I'm not the one legitimizing the white nationalist bullshit arguments. You guys are the ones that got me fucking banned, dickhead. You sided with the white nationalists. If you recognize that I'm legitimizing the white nationalist arguments, then what the fuck are you doing? Are you saying you're a white nationalist then? Because you and the fucking white nationalists were making the same arguments. Does that make sense? You're doing the fucking validating for them, actually, as a matter of fact. You know?
not even going to say the word here because it may also be on YouTube's radar too, but
so this cracker doesn't no, I know this video is gonna get either demonetized or limited monetization, but it doesn't really matter. I don't care. I think it's, you know, worth talking about, and I'm not gonna bleep myself out every time I say it, and I'm not gonna avoid the word because it's the word cracker and it's used to offend white people because their ancestors owned slaves. I just don't really know any white person who deep down actually is angry about it, besides for the fact that they're not allowed to say the N-word without getting in trouble, but people of color can call them crackers. So they're like, oh, I have to put a stop to this. I need to be oppressed. And
yeah, that logic is really flawed because exactly capitulating to white identity politics is going to combat white nationalism is the fucking most idiotic concept, because white identity politics is literally white nationalism. There is no like little bit of baby white identity politics, okay? Because, and I can't believe I'm repeating this for the 11th time just tonight in the past hour, whiteness is a concept created to build a dominant in-group. It's a concept built around exclusion and purity. So the only way to protect the integrity of the white race, if there is a white race to begin with, is a mishmash of different ethnicities, okay? But if the white race is a real, you know, serious race with boundaries, okay? Boundaries that are ever expanding, by the way, you're going to have to stop people fucking one another. You're going to have to stop black people and white people from fucking one another. That's the only way to do it. You're going to have to stop brown people from fucking white people. There's no other way to do it. You're going to have to stop immigration from brown and black countries and start promoting immigration from white countries. And that is what white nationalists want. That is what white identity politics is. That's why this whole like reverse racism bullshit is really dangerous territory for so many fucking people to broach, even though, you know, Nazis have been doing this for a very long time, and that's precisely why they're very good at it, and that's why they can mobilize on this, because the talking points are still the fucking same.
some way too. Because these right-wing people act like this is a Twitch issue, which it is, but the reason it happened was because people complained about it, and not people of color who are getting in trouble for saying the word, but white people who are offended because someone is using that word against them. If you think that this is like the woke police coming after you, you're wrong, because the reason Twitch did it was because of people that are on the right side. But not the right side, not the left side is what I'm trying to say.
The word crack, and then you can add an ER to
You're white, you can say cracker, it's okay.
it. A serious racial slur. A fact many only learned this week.
Dude, he's like literally blocking it out. Like, you're white and it says it in this article. It's okay. Even if you're not white, it's okay. Well, apparently it's not if you're on Twitch, but man, they're having such a hard time figuring out what it is they believe now. But it seems like even people on the right, like with Verlicify, will be mad at someone like him if they say that it's right. I don't think the majority of people, even on, you know, the right conservative side, believe that Hasan should be banned. It just depends what side you're on. Whether you're on the side of you can't say derogatory slurs towards oppressed individuals or oppressed groups of people, but you can say cracker, or you can say cracker online, but you should also be able to say all these slurs. It just depends where you're at. It's just another discussion of whether or not it's okay to call minorities slurs. And yeah, it's still not okay. It's just such a funny conversation. Why do people care if they're called a cracker if you're white? And if you do care, why?
I'm not watching the Destiny stuff.
Why?
It's enough.
Why
We've
would you
already.
ever care?
It's gonna fucking piss me off. But yeah.
Destiny is the main.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Motherfucker already makes enough money off this shit. Literally every time I mention him, that's like 3 weeks worth of money for him. All right, let's get back to okay, buddy. We saw those intentional fascists. How about an accidental one?
C'est Noël, c'est comme ça.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça? Attends voir. Ah oui, c'est possible que je te l'ai donné. Non mais c'est Minecraft qui voulait. C'est mais il m'a dit Minecraft. Mais non papa, c'est Minecraft. Mais où t'as trouvé ça? C'est pas possible. Mais non, c'est pas pareil, c'est un jeu vidéo Minecraft. C'est pour les gars.
Hey, listen. You know who would approve of that? Motherfucker who made it. That's right. C'est Minecraft, papa. Non, papa. Minecraft. Yeah. Ooh la la. Notch would fucking love that.
Les gamins. C'est pas possible.
C'est Noël.
Okay, let's get back to it. Also, not be banned in a nutshell. We already watched this, didn't we? Yeah, we already just watched this. Progress has been made in negotiations. Trade offer. I receive your $3 million home. You receive the C word pass. Twitch. Shut the fuck up. Heard Hasan's playing Disco Elysium. Wonder which archetype he chose. Swipe for full cards. Oh my god, this is incredible, dude. Political commentator, 5 int, 1 side, 2 F, what is it? FYS, is that physics? Motorics, 4 motorics. Extremely intelligent, very bad with people, knows interesting facts, high risk of getting canceled. IRL streamer, very psychological, a magnetic personality, but unstable. That's the one I chose, by the way. Might start talking about Cussy at random. Gaming frog, extremely physical, can power clean 400 pounds, respects women. Yeah, I used the whatever this one is a stand-in for, I think. This is really good though. Holy shit. God, I fucking love. Please don't I watch it at work? What do you mean? I just absolutely love Disco Elysium. It's so good. I was a sorry cop. Yeah. You get a ton of background lore if you have high encyclopedia. I did not. I had very low encyclopedia, and I never thought it was important to get. This was really good. Snowflakes. Is there sound? Also, the movie Elysium, my favorite, one of my favorite movies. First cosmonaut on the moon. New flights in Pepela. What? This doesn't even make sense. Why did you guys put me in all this? Hasan Reacts to Schlatt Twitch Purge. Fake. Wait, is this real? What the fuck? When is this from, dude?
We made
How
a bot
did you find this, dude?
to scrape every single
Oh my
Twitch
God.
account
This is
that
so
had
cool.
Carl Jacobs
Oh.
not found, was taken,
Oh my
in it.
God.
all of them.
This is the best.
Every single fucking one.
I'm dying. This is literally every.
And we've got
This
a bot
is-
who's going to
this
go
is the
through all
dream.
of these commands
He's talking about.
live.
Oh, that's so cool. That's great. Damn, I don't remember this part of the game. Stream intro. Been a while since you were here. Two familiar friends seemed to welcome you back with perceptible smiles. Everyone thought you were dead, gone. Nothing but a footnote in the history of Twitch. A familiar lo-fi tune starts playing, and the familiar chatter behind the gate instantly stops. Everyone knows you're here, Bratan! Bratan! It is a leftist meme. The entire game, Disco Elysium, is a leftist meme. This is why I can't fucking play this game on stream, okay? Composure, act normal. What's going on, everybody? I hope my fellow Salton X, stand on the desk and shit yourself. Boys, I just found out there's a Twitch hussy America deserve. Leave now. They will never know. So good. I love the Disco Elysium memes, dude. Hasan serving his guests a snack. I hope you're hungry for crackers. What is this double down news? I can't stress enough how important this topic is for leftists. The government just took away your freedom. Bro, come on, bro. We're doing okay, buddy. You want me to fucking derail over to another? Everybody keeps saying it as Twitch integration, but like it doesn't really mean anything. Hasan and the boys. I've seen this one before. I thought I saw this on. Hasan you. Hasan Piker on vegans.